And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time.
Where else you gonna have this much fun?
You the man. You the man.
Todd Father.
Show me the money.
What I've been doing, had to triple my bag. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Yeah. Had to triple my bag.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Duo Live show here at Learn Crypto. My name is Nick Hellman, aka the Crypto Hitman.
I'm Todd Butterfield, Wyckoff on crypto.
The man with the plan, taking us all to Lambo land. We needed to hop on here because obviously we were seeing red in the stock markets. Bitcoin is following lower, and several altcoins are getting absolutely smashed. Should you be selling here to buy back cheaper, or should you be buying that dip? Let's talk about that in today's
65.7.
show. New lows for the move on Bitcoin. Make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you like daily updates on crypto and stock, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and news. And let's jump right into this. Todd, if you want to show it over here, let's look at CoinGecko, and then let's let Todd look at the large caps, and we'll break on out to what the chat box wants and the other altcoins that we discussed in yesterday's live show as they head to the targets that we gave you guys yesterday as well. Let's see. Are you seeing Discord or are you seeing my screen?
Discord.
That's interesting. That is not what we want.
Well, I'm going to take over here real quick. I'm going to jump into Bitcoin here. This is a chart we showed yesterday. I told you, really, technometers were neutral. I was bearish stocks, thought maybe we'd done an AB. So stocks are definitely dragging everything down right now. We got the Dow down 522. NASDAQ down 284, S&P down 80, which is a slacking on there, and that's dragging down Bitcoin. The triangle on Bitcoin is still holding up. The sell-off we just did right now as we went live, it looks like we made about a 65,000 even, or 66.3. So Bitcoin's still trying to hold in there. If the low there at 64.4 gives away, that might be a little bit damaging on the bull side here. I've not really given any buys. I put an overhead buy above our head if we can dig out of here on Bitcoin. But if we go here to the SPY chart, I've shown here a couple sells I've had. My sell actually where I got short, I am actually at a profit now. S&P 509.92, I'm short around 513 and change. Again here, it's been labored to go lower, so we're going to see how today's close go to see if stocks can try to dig in here, go to new highs again. But for now, I still lean bearish, and that's where I'm staying. Real quick, GDX was up higher this morning, now getting shellacked as well. I sold right around these levels on Monday, so I wanted to buy a pullback, so hopefully we'll get a little lower on GDX here. XLE, same type of thing. I sold that at 98.08 or 96.13. I was looking for some type of ABC pullback. That looks like it's in fashion ready to go here. And TLT, wanting to be a buyer in the TLT, but not going to do it yet. Want to be short the dollar, not going to do it yet. And again, looking at a lot of these alts, Nick's going to go into that, and we'll come back to the chat box. So let's go back to Nick's. I think he's got his charts ready to go.
Yeah, up here we have CoinGecko, and we can kind of see the red that Todd is talking about on the large cap cryptos. And of course, Ethereum is underperforming Bitcoin, which is hitting a lot of the ERC20 tokens, and a lot of the other altcoins are following as well. BSC20 altcoins also getting hit with the BNB underperformance. If you wonder why I'm quoting that, the way liquidity provision works, any assets that are paired with Ethereum or paired with BNB in this case, which are usually altcoins, when they're paired on the DEX, if the main asset Ethereum is getting dragged down, of course that altcoin is going to get dragged down as well, and then usually even underperform the large cap as they have thinner liquidity pools and, to be honest, weaker hand holders as people are playing the altcoins for speculation purposes and panic when they see red. First chart I want to look at here is token. Yesterday, we were up here at 14 cents when we did the live show. I said it looked like we were going to do a continuation to the downside, at least to this 300 moving average. And I even drew this rectangle on the chart saying it'd be somewhere between this previous high here and this 300 moving average is probably where you want to look to buy. Well, what do you know? We are down in this range. We are wicking here. Now, we want to see a little more information before we just FOMO buy. But if you have no token position, I think this is one that's in a great sector, RWA sector, and it has some great token economics backed by Floki. So this isn't a terrible spot to buy a bag. But we like to see some consolidation here, some confluence, and some registry in these RSIs and technometers. We do see that the RSI is very oversold, the most oversold it's been in the history of this token. But the technometer just hasn't caught up to the downside just yet. So ideally, we can have a little bit of patience here and see. But if you're a degen, if you want to jump in, this is the buy zone in which we were telling you yesterday we would fall into. We've wicked as low as 9 cents, and we are well below the 300 moving average, which is at 10.4 cents. This is the buy area we're looking at for token, and one that I think you can look to take advantage of. If you're in our Patreon group, stay tuned for the official call at patreon.com/learncrypto. But this is right into the live show trading area we were talking about yesterday. Floki getting absolutely hammered here, down 17%. Yesterday we were seeing a lot of bullish confluence here, but this level needed to hold as well as this 300 moving average. If that level gave away, then you're looking for this measured move of this bearish pendant to the downside, which puts you around 1368. I think yesterday I had it drawn to 1350. TradingView deleted my stuff, so I had to throw these back on here. So somewhere in this range to this previous consolidation and the measured move for this bearish pendant to the downside, I think this is a level in an area where it makes a lot of sense leading into 420, which is Doge Day, to buy and get a position in Floki. Now, I don't know if you want to chase right here. As we see, Floki hasn't had the bounce yet. We are oversold on the RSI, but again, not quite oversold yet on the Wyckoff technometer. I think there could be lower levels in play here for Floki, and then the bullishness and the march higher for Floki continues once again. This green pendant here is invalidated, and we're using the bearish pendant to the downside to try to produce a buy zone for you guys here. And then lastly, what was another one you guys were asking me about and talking about yesterday? Oh, that is Pulse Chain. Pulse Chain, the upside measured moves for the sell zones were hit, but the Elliott wave count was invalidated with this capitulation sell-off. I'm not sure why this won't update for you guys. Let's see if this chart wants to update here on PulseX.
Bitcoin 66.6, bouncing a little, trying to hold in.
Yeah, it looks like Goalpost isn't wanting to update, but you can see that Pulse Chain, even though it is on its little island, did not survive the sell-off. PLS down 14%, PLSX down 15%, INC down 14%, as there has been a whale over there capitulating. Now, if you zoom in on Richard Hart's, one of his last tweets, he had an uptrend line drawn on PLS's chart, this one right here. That was just hit with the sell-off. Is the OA wallet, the God wallet, Richard Hart going to market make and keep that uptrend line intact? I would say probably. If you own nothing on Pulse Chain, I think this is the dip that you want to be buying. You're back to major support levels, and I think there is more upside out of this ecosystem moving forward. If you're already in Pulse Chain, I would not be selling this dip. Keep your assets where they are. Keep collecting that passive income, and we are right where Richard Hart wanted you to be. Richard Hart does not do things on accident. When he posted that chart with that uptrend line, I think he is looking at it. I think he will market make around it, and I think this is what could be one of the final capitulations for these blue chip assets over on that network.
Interesting. If we go to crypto bubbles, you got everything kind of uniform. Looks like definitely red across the board on that chart. CKB is the only winner, up 5%. Otherwise, we're down, looks like 17 to 19% on quite a few coins here. So I'll tell you what, we're giving quite a few trades probably here with the action. So let's get this disclaimer out of the way real quick to keep regulators happy. Be right back. All right, do your own research. This is not individual investment advice. What do we got? Chat box, anything going on? I will say, Nick, also, if you look, we haven't been live much, so we maybe have less viewers, but we're streaming to Facebook and Twitter, so you're not going to see the views on YouTube. So a lot of people, I'm sure, much easier, I think, to watch on Twitter. It seems like that's where I end up going, even myself now. So
So shout out to everybody on YouTube, Twitter, Discord, and here on YouTube watching the live broadcasts. The chat that we usually see the most and we interact with the most is actually the chat on YouTube. So if you want to be a person who asks questions, who talks, and who really interacts with us, we do see the YouTube chat more readily available than the other ones.
Yeah, Wirecast allows Twitter comments to come in here, but I looked at that. That's kind of hard to get set up. Probably not going to do that. We'd have too much action going on these screens. So yeah, if you want to talk to us, chat, you got to go to YouTube. Otherwise, Twitter, Facebook, everything else is cool.
Do you want to go ahead and pull up the Ethereum chart and see what we have going on over there?
Yeah, and then first of all, I'm going to answer Alex here on AERO. Let me bring that up first. That's the one that I said it looked good, but not much to add. Still not really much to add. I mean, it broke to new highs, almost up to 240, back down to $1.55, currently $1.64. I mean, obviously they're hitting everything. I probably would say that would be a decent one still to nibble on possibly here. That's one that's obviously led us higher, so that one wouldn't bother me. You want to buy the strong coins after this shellacking that we're taking here today. So here's Ethereum USDT. And again, on the indicators out of TradingView, we're bringing in aggregate volume from 39 choices now. I think we're doing 7 exchanges, USD, USDT, etc. 5 different stable coins. So when you're looking at volume on our charts, you're seeing total volume. Got to have that if you're a technical analyst. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. So here's Ethereum. Again, blue line aggregate. Software is taking volume every 5 minutes and calculating it, so you're getting solid volume figures. You're seeing new lows on volume. Price is still trying to hold, but as Nick mentioned, Ethereum getting slapped here pretty hard. Technometer is 40.66. 38's oversold. Anybody that's a member here understands and knows that. So we're still looking for a little bit lower. A couple things here. This is a Wyckoff wave crypto index that all of you know that we follow that quite a bit, especially on the technometer readings. Let's wait for that to load. 39.74. Normally a 40 or below technometer is bullish on the crypto index. We've had this for, I don't know what it is, probably 4 years running now. So that's telling you that that it's a good time to try to enter the market here now, or definitely in the next day or so. We will be watching that. And then we've got one more thing here. Let's look at Bitcoin Bitfinex. If you're in the Discord, you know we watch this one quite a bit. I do have to change this. I'm going to change this back to standard, which means just volume coming from Bitfinex, because that sometimes gives us a little bit of a leeway on what's going on, it seems, over the years. So if we let those load, technometer 39.6, so not at the levels where we want to buy, but extremely close. So not much to add there, and let's go back to Nick and I and see what's up in the chat box.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it here in a little bit, but what's interesting is Bitcoin is getting absolutely smashed today, and Coinbase and MicroStrategy are holding up well, but while the miners are getting absolutely crushed. I don't know if, Todd, if you want to pull up my chart or the dual screen with the chart, but yeah, Coinbase continues to hold in this high-level consolidation here at $245 with the 300 moving average all the way down to at $145. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is getting smashed. Institutional sellers of Coinbase just aren't selling up here. It would be interesting to see how long these shareholders will hold in the face of a red Bitcoin. But I do think that leads you to believe that this high-level consolidation in Bitcoin could hold here. Downside risk to like 63,500 for this potential pork blast to the upside. And there is a major uptrend line that's been very consistent on Bitcoin over time, where you would have a downside risk to right around $60,000. Now, how does that look on the MicroStrategy chart? The same thing. Super high-level consolidation up here. This one does look like a potential head and shoulders, though. You can see here. Let me throw it on here, where this could be like the left shoulder, head, finishing a right shoulder, and then you finally see some downside here in MicroStrategy. But, I mean, very impressive that those have held up so well with Bitcoin in the red. Meanwhile, you look at Manta here. Mara, the Bitcoin miner, absolutely getting hammered. back below the 300 moving average, barely oversold on the RSI, back to these previous levels around $16, below these previous support levels. Critical support is going to be where we had it marked here in the past, around the 15 to 15.50 level. So between $15 and $15.15, critical support for our marathon. And if we get down there, we probably need to take another buy on these miners. Obviously, for the miners, we've always been saying that miners will underperform Coinbase and MicroStrategy. We believe they have a better narrative, and they have less overhead costs than these miners. These miners are forced to sell Bitcoin and really reliant on the price of Bitcoin and Bitcoin trading fees. But I do believe this earnings could be solid here, because remember, this is going to be on the last pre-halving earnings. So it's going to be the 900 Bitcoin per block rewards. And also we did have the BRC20 in the ordinal season, which produced a lot of fees and trading fees over on the Bitcoin network that did get passed on to the miners. So I do think that we get one more good buy set up on these miners. We ride a nice wave up to the upside and we cash in on some double-digit gains. Again, here you look at Riot all the way back below our previous profit sales, below the previous support, and getting near the lows for this cycle move, which are at $8.70. We're sitting here at $9.04. Yes, we are oversold on the RSI. No, we are not oversold on the technometer. We do not have a bullish divergence on the OP. So if we can pick a low on Bitcoin, I think we can pick a low on a couple of these mining stocks that are very, very oversold leading into their earnings that are coming here during May. I think those could be some positive earnings and some of the last positive earnings for the Bitcoin miners. Because remember, right now all these miners are fighting over 900 Bitcoin per block or per day. After the halving, they're going to be fighting over 450 Bitcoin per day, which means they need to make up that revenue, A, with Bitcoin price absolutely soaring, or B, with on-network transactions, the BRC20, the trading fees, etc., rising dramatically so that these miners can break a profit and pass that on to shareholders and their stock prices can continue the upside. Otherwise, I believe assets like Coinbase or MicroStrategy will continue to outperform the mining sector indefinitely. What are your thoughts there, Todd?
Hold on here, because I was bringing up ETFs and some of the minor charts and checking out the chat box. So I'm not paying attention because I'm looking at some other things here.
Well, if you want to go ahead and pull that up.
Yeah, I want to show something here because I was bringing up, again, at TradingView, we got these set up where we can easily go in and compare miners, ETFs, etc. So here's the Bitcoin ETFs, the top 8. And if you can see that on the screen, I mean, we've got the blue line, which is the volume on all these, the Wyckoff Optimism Pessimism Index, all hitting new lows here while price is still holding up. That's why I was calling it a wave forward triangle. All of these are the same way. They're all hitting new lows here. Technometer readings are 33, 36, 37, 41, 40, 41, 40, 40. So definitely down at levels where probably you could nibble here. But again, we've not pulled the trigger. We're still waiting on that. And
that's a very interesting spread there to be able to see all those ETFs all lining up, all giving bullish buy setups. And we do know these are spot ETFs. So if institutional investors see this and they decide to buy, guess what? That means the spot Bitcoin has to be bought off the open market, put into that ETF product. And it could form that high level consolidation we've been looking for in Bitcoin for the next move higher as well.
And definitely then here's the miners loading. I've only got about 150 screens open, so let this load here. It looks like everything's slowly going to load up. Their alarms are hitting, obviously. Let me check those real quick, make sure I don't need to do anything. All right. Again, here's the miner set up. So if you do subscribe to the indicators of TradingView, you're going to have all these things pre-set up for you. I just got to send you the layout and the links for all of this. But here is the Bitcoin miners. Nick was talking about, they're just getting slapped. And you can see here in most cases that is what's going on. Major selling, blue lines are all hitting new lows. And you'll see technometers really, more around the 44 level probably on average. The only thing, HUT 8 Corp is the only one that's oversold. That's a lower priced issue. Otherwise, you've got Marathon down at 41. You got Riot down at 40. As Nick mentioned, those are ones that we sold higher, looking to buy back. They've been absolutely clobbered. Everyone's going to the ETFs probably, not trading the miners anymore. So you're seeing total capitulation there. So Again, everything looks like we're getting close to something. You could nibble here if you've been sitting on the sidelines, but for now, I'm sitting on my hands.
Do you guys have any other questions here in the chat box that we need to get to before? Otherwise, we might make this a short show, as we got our own trades, our own portfolios, and the private group over at patreon.com to take care of. And we are getting very close to some buy levels that we just discussed. Like we said, if you think this is a high-level consolidation of Bitcoin, you are very close here, or just $1,000 lower to wanting to pull the trigger. Token is sitting on levels that you might want to buy, maybe a penny lower. Floki, I told you 1350. Look out for it. We are getting very close. What other ones are we missing? If you are interested in getting involved with Pulse Chain for the first time, this is, I believe, the capitulation right to Richard Hart's uptrend line on Pulse Chain. And we know all the blue chips follow each other. So buy PLS, PLSX, and possibly Hex if you're interested. That's not really in our portfolio. We do the PLS, PLSX, and PTGC over on Pulse Chain.
What up, Jason? And I don't know about the news today. I really got CNBC on behind me, but I usually keep it muted. You know, I'm total technician, so I don't try to care much about news. I don't want to get it really clouding my views. As I've been short stocks here, I mean, again, watching things today, I think probably today will be interesting. Nick, I've got to do a trade here. I'm going to run, I'm going to run a minute 20 commercial on our Patreon Discord. Nick, you can gather your thoughts, and we'll come right back, go grab some water, do something. Minute 20 commercial.
Warren Buffett, American investor, business tycoon, and one of the wealthiest people in the world, once said, "If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die." But how is that possible? Well, knowledge is power. In 2020, it is no longer news that cryptocurrencies are the currency of the digital future. Bitcoin's stability amidst unprecedented global economic impacts from COVID-19 has proven once again that crypto is here to stay. Learning how to trade, when to trade, and where to trade crypto assets can make the difference between success and failure. At LearnCrypto.io, we offer a pathway to sustainable and lifelong wealth by helping open-minded beginners and experienced traders navigate the thin ice of the cryptocurrency markets. Live shows, interviews, coin reviews, fundamental analysis, predictive trading bots, and open chat access to a community of real traders. These are just a few of the benefits you'll receive with a membership on patreon.com/learncrypto. Sign up today if you strive to build yourself a brighter tomorrow.
All right, we're back.
Here we go. You want to show my screen first, and I'll take a look at Ferrum, or do you want to look at Litecoin first?
No, go ahead and do your Ferrum. I'll get
All
ready
right,
for
Bill.
Litecoin.
Bill says, how much lower is Ferrum going to go? Ferrum here, as you can see on my chart, we are telling you to buy on every dip during this consolidation, as we saw a breakout was imminent to this measure move around 11 cents. Well, look where we topped out at 10.95 cents. Can't get much better than that. I said then you would reconsolidate, which we did right above the breakout level, and we went to minor new highs. Now, we have fallen down. In yesterday's show, I told you around this level, and this uptrend line is very important. We are now at 7.3 cents, right around this uptrend line, holding in pretty well with the fact that everything else is down 20%. With Ferrum and the access to pre-sales and their mainnet coming up, obviously this is a very critical level from a technical perspective, but I think this dip will be short-lived. I know there's people up here at 9 and 10 cents that were wanting me to give them a buy, and I said we can continue to consolidate around this 8 to 7.5 cent level. So hopefully you waited. Hopefully you still have the dry powder. I would pick up that Ferrum now around these levels, get those Ferrum staked for deflationary passive income, and be eligible for pre-sales leading into this bull market. So my answer to you is I think we are around a major low. Obviously, next major level of support, we touched it many times. That would be just above 6 cents, which would be another about penny lower than it is here currently. Ferrum is up 335% off the bear market low, still looking strong, still producing passive income, and still giving us that pre-sale access. So if you were sitting on dry powder, around here is very important. Obviously, we did give away this uptrend line, but in the face of a down 20% for many other alts, Ferrum is only down 5% today. So I think that's an indicator of an asset being strong here, and one that is still good to get into your portfolio.
All right, I'm going to take it. Jason's got the carrot stick on Litecoin. You got to love crypto. Yesterday, Litecoin was around 98. and I said looked like support strong down there at 80, 85, and boom, we touch 80 today, 83.62 at the moment. You can see lower right technometer 40.34. Again, not a coin that we really are trading or hold, but I would say support's down here. So if you want to nibble on some Litecoin or maybe average down some positions, you could probably do that, but not a great coin.
Yeah, like we said yesterday, the narrative for the Litecoin has kind of, lost itself over this past couple cycles. And usually the Litecoin momentum and the Litecoin pump marks the end of the bull cycle. So yes, Litecoin, the tide raises all ships, but I think it's going to be a lagger until it isn't. And when it isn't, you should heed warning and probably liquidate a lot of your crypto positions because it is usually the last one to move, at least for the last couple cycles, and just isn't in the narrative hype for new retail. The only thing that saves Litecoin is institutions. If a Litecoin ETF is ever approved with that institutional exchange, they only can buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and BCH. So institutional money is what saves Litecoin, and then usually a laggard. When we see that massive explosion in Litecoin, let's take that as a warning that the bull market might be close to an end.
Stocks on the lows, Dow down 560, NASDAQ down 310. They're starting to slap the shit out of some of these alts now. So
yeah, with that, if there's no more questions, if there's no more questions here on YouTube or there's no more charts you want to look at, Todd, we looked at Pulse Chain because that's what people requested from last time. We followed up with Floki, we followed up with TokenFi and some others. We're going to wrap it up here soon because in this active market, we need to take some real trades. We need to post about some real trades, and our private group over at patreon.com/learncrypto is about to get a fresh wave of entries.
One thing, I'm going to do one quick one here. I've been short Apple. It had a big rally yesterday on the artificial intelligence news. So I'm short that around 189.13, I think the number was. Did not cover yet yesterday. I almost covered when it came back above that 173 and change level. I'm still short. You can see technometers back to overbought. So not sure there. Short got profits, going to be watching it the next day or two, decide what to do next. So.
And then the last question I'll answer here, Chris Parides says thoughts on picking up more USA tokens at these levels or a bit lower while we still have about 1 month worth of vesting. Yes, the vesting for USA is almost over, and they actually just did an AMA. I caught the back end of it about an hour ago, announcing that USA NFT staking is coming soon. USA standard pools are coming soon. Deployment of the USA token on base chain coming soon. Version 2 of the casino coming soon. So I think you see my point here. All this bullish news and the vesting period almost over. Somewhere around here will be a major low on the USA token. And I think we're going to see more questions about it here on this YouTube channel, on Twitter, and in the Discord. As when things turn around, green candles come on board, people's FOMO kicks in. So good pickup there. Good following that, Chris. And yes, you are correct. The vesting is over or near over in May. So usually when those vesting ends, usually 1 month before vesting is where you see projects really turn it on and start to turn around and start deploying funds into marketing. And you are getting very close to that. I think April 30th would mark the 1 month before vesting is over. So nice spots.
Give Chris a blue wrench as well.
Any final thoughts before I wrap it up here, Todd?
No, again, we're watching the stocks. I think they're at a make or break level on stocks. We got an hour to go before the close. That probably will give a little bit of direction to Bitcoin. But again, as we've been saying, looks like maybe some of these things are trying to make lows. Join Discord if you want real-time trades. Otherwise, we do give some free alpha on social media. And if no one knows, we do a lot with Wyckoff. I do own Wyckoff's original institute from 1931. I'm going to run a Who Was Richard D. Wyckoff ad here at closing. And that's all I got, Nick. So wrap it up.
Yeah, Bitcoin sitting here at 66,500, sitting on the 300 moving average. Your downside risk for the bullish case to still be in play would be around 63,500 to hold this high-level consolidation. So stay tuned. Tune in with us tomorrow to the live show. Make sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button if you like daily updates on both crypto and stock, technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and news right here at Learn Crypto.
Peace out.
Good afternoon. My name is Richard D. Wyckoff. Anyone who is interested in the stock, option, or commodity markets is most likely to find my life and teachings to be of great interest and value. I was born November 2nd, 1873. At the age of 15, I had my first job as a stock runner on Wall Street, and by age 25, I had opened my first brokerage firm. I was one of the pioneers in the study of the tape and included volume studies in all my market operations. This volume and its intraday studies is what set me apart from the rest of the market gurus. There was a point that my buy and sell following was so big that it became a powerful part of the daily market. It was at this time that I became known as one of the titans of technical analysis. But all along, my lifelong endeavor was to pass on my accumulated wisdom to others. With that in mind, in 1907 I created the Magazine of Wall Street. At its height, the Magazine of Wall Street had over 200,000 subscribers. That's over 200,000 investors who wanted my thoughts on the current market conditions and trends. Finally, in 1931, I decided to take all my knowledge that I had learned about the stock market and create the Richard D. Wyckoff course of stock market science and technique. I was able to create something that established a new standard of practice in the public stock market operations. I did not claim any monopoly of stock market knowledge, but up to that time, no one else seemed willing to be so frank in offering to the public the most intimate knowledge of the inner workings of the stock market. The good news is that even though I created the Wyckoff stock market course back in 1931, the course has been maintained and updated throughout the years and is available to you today. Over 90 years later, my course is still available for investors and traders that want to learn the secrets to the stock market and can be found right now at wyckoffsmi.com.
We'll see you all again. Sleep tight.